myself. Hello, everyone. This is Robert Smith with Avamo. I'm a product specialist in conversational AI. I'm here with Manu Prasanna, who's our Director of Marketing at Avamo as well. And today's presentation, we'll be focusing on the concept of voice as a way to help get things done. And we're going to give you some examples of how folks are actually doing it. So rather than just providing hypotheticals about what can be done or what could be done, we're going to give you some details about what folks have already gotten out of it using AI-powered voice experiences. So we're going to start off by kind of setting the environment, like where we are today, as far as what the opportunities are to make a real difference. Then we'll give you some real world examples. And then we'll also, we'll show you some demos here. So that's what we're going to do. So first of all, kind of the state of where things are. So first of all, when most of the folks are calling into a voice experience, most of us have called in, if not all of us, have called in somewhere and gotten an IVR, interactive voice response, which really isn't that interactive when it gives you a few choices, you know, press 1 for sales, press 2 for support, and then they just route you to people. And the challenge there is that you are still just placing it all on the live agent, the human, and they're only around during staffed hours. So like you see on the bottom right here, calls will tend to pile up, not just during staffed hours, but it gets worse if there are specific events, a new announcement, a new product, an outage, whatever it is. And then your call desk, each human can only take one call at a time. So your wait times go up, and these really have a serious impact on your customer satisfaction scores. And the issue there is more than the scores, it really hits you in the bottom line. And this is where we have this survey you see on the right, where it's half of customers worldwide say that the customer experience is more important than a year ago. You expect, right? But what's really interesting here is that half say they would switch to a competitor after just one bad experience, and up to 80% would jump after more than one bad experience. Now, your mileage may vary, meaning that depending on the type of product you have, the type of environment, is it pre-sales, is it post-sales, those numbers will vary. But you know, think of it from your own experience when you get put on hold and they have the audacity to say that, oh, your call is important to us, but then you end up sitting on hold longer than you'd perhaps like to, which keeps you from doing what you do. So as you see on the left here, we mentioned a solution where we can help you get that call waiting time down to 0. We'll give you a little detail on that a little later on in the presentation. So to put a little more information behind what we're doing, what we're seeing actually, and then what we're doing. But as you look on the right, is that as people start to wait more and more, when things go from seconds to minutes, you can really see it plummet. You start ending up with abandons, and those are people just giving up, hanging up, whatever. Now you'll notice that on sales, it's a bit more profound and it happens sooner because that's before someone has made a commitment to you. You're trying to convert them. So it's so critical to do that right up front. And even afterwards, when people have made a purchase from you and they need technical support on that purchase, you still see a fairly precipitous drop in the number of people who will hold the line in order to do that. So you typically look around the industry, you will see, as you see on the bottom left, an industry standard of answering 80% of calls in 20 seconds, but there's a lot of variability there. The other 20%, it really starts to, as you see on the right, really starts to take a chunk out of your business pretty quickly. So we'll have some ideas on how to do that. So by doing so, using contact center AI and what we're doing now, we'll give you some examples on how folks are getting real advantage with different industries. So first of all, one of the things that's really critical, and this is something that's quite new actually, you may have seen demos from larger software companies where they were able to have the bot call up a restaurant, reserve a table, and it sounded like a very lifelike voice with breaths and ums and ahs. It really helped the person on the other side of the line not be distracted by it. And as far as we know, that person didn't know that was a virtual agent. Now, what we're not trying to do is we're not trying to fool people, but we do want people to be as comfortable as possible that they can have a normal conversation with the bot and just focus on what they want. So we have the ability, and we're doing this now, where we clone a voice. This means that there's a voice actor comes in, reads some lines, and you as an Avamo customer, as some of our customers are doing now, are able to provide a voice actor that they like, and they're able to figure out that voice and make that voice represent what they want to do. So let's get an example of, or 5 examples in this case, of what that can be like. And what I want you to listen for, well, these are all in English, but we have about 30 languages we can do over the phone. And of course, there's an additional 90 or so at the keyboard, but they're going to have things like regional accents and different emotions and so on, so that you can really get a more lifelike experience that really makes people comfortable. And that's really the goal here.
I'm the voice of a virtual assistant for a large healthcare network. I'm able to schedule thousands of vaccine appointments simultaneously.
Hi, this is Steve with Acme, following up to confirm the appointment you made with us today at 2 p.m.
Helping a client through their accident claim can be difficult. A custom voice that communicates emotion should be a vital consideration for every business.
Your voice should come from you, not Alexa. A brand voice communicates much more than just information. It also communicates emotion.
Integrate your custom voice with your call center stack to create powerful dynamic virtual agents powered by text-to-speech.
So those are some examples of how you can really have your own brand and really tailor the message for your audience so that they feel more comfortable getting things done. Some of the examples that we're going to be able to provide you here, I have a couple of specific ones up top here, and then some overall numbers that we see people getting. So in this case, from an inbound perspective, we're working with a transportation company, and within a relatively short period of time, they saw a 30% automation. And that's a huge relief to the call center agents who would tend to get spiked at particular times of day, during weather events, those sorts of things. And then they're actually far from being satisfied. We're all pushing to double that again, in a fairly reasonable period of time. And today, they're actually seeing reduced transfer calls from 48% down to an average of 28%. So these are not small differences, and these are driving a tremendous amount of value. When people start to do the math, people cost more than software does. So the goal there is to get people put in their best situation, so they're getting the best use of their talents, not necessarily being dragged down into answering repetitive questions over and over again. What are your hours today? Are you going to be working on the weekend? You know, the basic stuff. Instead, you can ask real questions. You can ask questions like, I need to find an elbow a joint specialist for my wife. I need someone who's female and is within 30 miles of Stamford, Connecticut. So those are moving up the stack towards more meaningful questions, and that's something that we're looking to provide across industries. Now that's the inbound use case when folks are calling in, and we mentioned the term zero call waiting because the bot picks up right away every time. No matter how many people are calling in, the bot, through the power of the cloud and dynamic scalability, we do on-prem too, of course, but the idea is the cloud provides that on-demand scalability so that we can pick up every call right away. So your hold times, instead of seeing those cliffs like you saw in those graphs earlier, it's an instantaneous thing. So people are not only getting the call answered, hello, we're a certain company, they're actually able to start to ask questions of the bot right now, 24/7, 365. Now, for an outbound use case, again, the on-demand scalability is crucial. And in this case, we had a really forward-thinking hospital who had a situation where they needed, through a health equity, where you try to provide equal access to healthcare for everyone, they had about 500,000 patients that they wanted to make an outreach to make sure that they didn't fall between the cracks. They might fall between the cracks because either English wasn't their first language, and as you can see here, we provided several. And then the other thing might be that they may not have a computer, so it's more reasonable that they're going to have a phone. So in this case, they said, well, how quickly can we reach these 500,000 or so patients? It ended up being about 2 weeks from the first phone call to the last. And to do this, we were able to pace it so that it was during the staffed live agent hours in case someone wanted to talk to a human. We got to 10,000 to 12,000 or more patients per hour being called in these 3 languages. And we had patients as old as 85 who were comfortable enough with the bot and understood, and they were able to book appointments. So those are some specific use cases I wanted to share with you, where the power of AI-powered voice is starting to provide real benefits and has been providing real benefits. So these are things that are very reasonable for you to look forward to as you work with. So what you see on the bottom is some of the aggregate data that we've put together, where across projects we've seen, as you see, a 60% reduction in go live time. And a lot of this is because we have pre-built skills or use cases where it's more top down. When we've already solved the problem once, when we go to solve it again, we do more top down work because we have a lot we can start with to get you up and running more quickly. And then we see the 55% improvement in self-service success rate. If you can just ask the bot to get an answer, I need to reset my password, and then the bot helps you reset your password and you're done, that's an amazing increase because you get people answers faster, and you're not dragging your live agents into things that they don't necessarily need to do anymore. They can focus on the higher value use cases where they really help keep your customer's impression of you as high as possible. Another big one here, an 86% reduction in live agent calls. That's something for specific use cases. We can provide that kind of instant gratification 24/7. So if someone has a question at 2 in the morning on, I don't know, Christmas Day, they get the same quality of service as if they called, now during the business day. So that helps people get answers without, as we mentioned earlier, things tending to pile up. So that's a lot of what drives that massive reduction in live agent calls. And then finally, a 25% improvement in NPS scores. That's where all these other things really start to pay a dividend, not just NPS, but CSAT scores as well. That customer satisfaction becomes tangible and measurable. So the last piece here before I move off to demos is that to do this, I mean, you're doing important work, and that important work needs to be protected, especially with your data. And this means that you need to make sure that the product is compliant, you know, things like NIST, HIPAA, GDPR, those sorts of things, and it is. But then you also need to make sure that the bot is treating your valuable customer data and your internal data as sensitive information, you know, in motion, at rest, in the cloud, or on premise. And these are some examples of the type of data that we're used to handling securely, so that you can be confident that the bot will do its share to keep your data yours, that sort of thing. So what I want to do next is I have a couple of demos that are very close to some of the use cases that I've mentioned that folks are using to drive a tremendous advantage. So let me, the first thing is first demo, healthcare patient scheduling. Now this is one where if I have to go book an appointment to find a provider, a doctor, a specialist, whichever, radiology lab, whatever it is, I need to go to a website, look for the in-network providers, write down the phone number, and then hopefully it's during the business day and not during lunch, so I can smile and dial and hopefully reach someone, and maybe I have to sit on hold and then get an appointment. What this is going to do is show you how the bot can help you go end to end. The bot can help you find a provider, and those providers can be listed in a back end like an Epic or something like that, where that information is probably stored today. And it'll also have access to schedule, so it'll help you find a time with that particular provider, that doctor. And that means that you can go end to end. Something that may have taken days before can be done in a couple of minutes. So let me just quickly tab over there to maximize this. Here we go.
Hello, I'm Penny, your virtual assistant, and I can help set up an appointment with your healthcare provider. You can say something like, "We need to see our son's pediatrician," or "I need to get an x-ray. What can I do for you today?"
I need to see someone about a knee replacement procedure.
Let me see if I can connect you with the right healthcare provider. If you would, please provide me with your patient identification number.
12690. Don't know what it is.
I'm sorry, but I wasn't able to find your information using your patient ID, 12690. But no worries, just provide me with your full name, date of birth, and the last 4 digits of your social security number. Also, please let me know if you have any preferences in your healthcare provider.
My name is Tony Allen Reynolds. I was born on November 15th, 1980. The last 4 of my social is 6958. Now, I want a male doctor that does a lot of knee replacements and is near RDU Airport.
Great, thanks. Based on what you've told me, I recommend that you see Dr. Michael Bolognesi, who has a 4.92 out of 5 patient provider rating, has extensive experience in knee replacement, and is near RDU Airport. Is this okay?
Yes, it is.
Okay. The earliest available appointment is 11 a.m. next Wednesday. Will that work?
Yes, it will.
Okay. You're all set for 11 a.m. next Wednesday. I've sent you a confirmation text, and I'll also text you a reminder the day before your appointment.
Thank you.
My pleasure. Please call back if you have any questions or concerns. Thanks.
So that's one example of an inbound use case, which, as you can see, based on what you might have to do today to get that done, being able to take something like that and really accelerate it where someone gets what they want right away, anytime, can really help not just customer satisfaction, but it helps ease the load on your folks so they can do more with the time that they have. So another demo I was going to show you, and before I move out here, is an outbound. Now, this is one where if we needed to get an outreach set up so that we could reach out to specific patients and offer them the ability to schedule an appointment, in this case for coronavirus vaccinations, this is something that can be a very powerful way to reach a lot more people right away in a way that's just not possible with human effort and with a level of interaction and care that you will never get, to my knowledge. You won't see that from a plain IVR, press 1 to talk to a live agent scenario.
Hello, this is Meg. I'm a virtual assistant with calling to book an appointment for a COVID-19 vaccine. Would you be interested in getting scheduled now?
Yes, I would.
That's great. Would you prefer to get scheduled with me, or can I text you a link to book online?
You'll do.
Excellent. To confirm, am I speaking with Robert Smith?
Yes, you are.
Hi, Robert. Can you please tell me your full date of birth?
April 15th, 1950.
Perfect. That matches what I have on file. Let's get you the vaccination appointment. Have you received any doses of the COVID-19 vaccine before?
No.
Where would you like to get your vaccine? We have appointments available at our Assembly Row location in Somerville and our Needham location in the TripAdvisor building.
Assembly Row.
Excellent. We have appointments available from May 6th to May 8th. Which day would you prefer?
May 8th.
Okay, on Saturday 8th of May we are open from 9:15 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. What would be your preferred time?
10:30 a.m.
Sure. Can I confirm your appointment at 10:30 a.m. on Saturday 8th of May?
Yes.
Great. You will receive a text message with confirmation of your appointment information on your mobile number. Thank you for scheduling an appointment with us. For more information, call the COVID call center at 781-960. Have a nice day and stay safe.
So that's an outbound example, but you can just as easily offer that as an inbound as well. So what you heard there across both demos was the opportunity to really automate something end to end that used to be fairly manually intensive. If someone needs to authenticate, if you need to look up schedules, if the answers are in a back-end system or just a document, all those things work. So what, in conclusion, I'd like you to do is to think about, there are some things that are going to help drive your business forwards. And whether it's in healthcare, telco, HR, ITSM, it doesn't matter. We have a lot of experience across different verticals, and you can use these. These are things that are available today, and these are things that folks are already using to drive value. So what I hope that'll do is help get the conversation going on how we can work together to really help drive things forward together. Manu?
Excellent. Thank you for that great session, Robert. So I've been collecting some questions from the audience. Give me a second here. So Robert, question for you. How long does it take to stand up contact center AI and some of the things that you've spoken about here?
Well, because we've done a lot of this before and we have a practice internally that does this time and time again, these are the sorts of things that usually get deployed in typically phase 1 is 10 to 12 weeks. And that doesn't mean just getting it out the door. I mean, this is where it's starting at a high level of accuracy the moment it gets in front of your customers, and it has to, because you only get one chance to make a first impression. That we use that as kind of the launch pad to help increase accuracy as well, because the more people use it, the more the bot tracks what's going well, what isn't, and then it starts to cluster those opportunities to improve the accuracy of the bot so that it gets high accuracy day one, but then it only gets higher, like we were seeing with some of the folks' real world use cases.
Okay, thank you. The next question we have here, and I think we only have time for one more. So the question is that, they're saying that they have Genesis, and do we integrate with Genesis? And Robert, while you answer that question, I think it'll also be worthwhile if you talked about, other backend systems that we integrate with, such as NICE and Avaya as well.
Absolutely.
And any
Yes.
others I might have missed.
Okay. I mean, ones that we've seen already are, you mentioned Genesis, Cisco, Avaya, NICE in Contact. We've done some work with Amazon Connect as well. And the reason that we've been able to work with all of these effectively is that we're able to use, speak their language, so to speak. They use technologies like SIP, VXML, REST, PSTN, and so on. So that means that what you can do is you don't have to have a big bang cutover. If you have an IVR system, we can start to carve off tasks. So instead of press 1 for sales going directly to a live agent, we can have the, especially after hours, we can have the bot take that specific task. And then as you start to get that successful, people are going to want to have those interactive, truly interactive, two-way conversations with the bot to get that immediate answer. And then you can start to say, okay, press 2 for technical support. And then the technical support is also handled by the bot. And then as the bot needs to, it can then delegate some of those level 2, level 3 questions to folks, so that you're providing the best answers right away, while at the same time providing that fallback to live agents.
Okay, thank you so much, Robert. I think that we're going to wrap up now. Folks, I just wanted to mention that this is the second part of a 3-webinar series that we're doing. So hopefully you'll be able to join us for the finale, which is going to be on October 25th, Wednesday, October 25th. And it's going to be about your contact center AI strategy and the art and science of measuring automation ROI. So that will be led by Skan Bhargava, our head of AI research here at Avamo. So thank you all once again for joining, and thank you, Robert, and everyone have a good day.
Yeah, have a good one.